the3pauls.com, we would just go with XREF, and you'll see why. So see if I can get this going here. So basically,
Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer.
Yep. There we go. So if you haven't seen this yet, it's a tool that I stumbled upon called Prezi. I think they're based in Europe and then also San Francisco. And I love the way that it, you know what, I'm taking my time for this demo. That's enough. Okay. XREF is all about timing. There are a lot of things in life that you can see where if you get the right person, the right resource in the right place, if you don't have timing in place, it doesn't work. I'm not going to go into the detail of this because we're on totally limited time. Most of you probably already know this, but for the three of you who don't, social media is changing our world. We're seeing entire social systems change. You probably know the state of Facebook is up to about 460 million users, and at the same time, so was, well, not to the same number, but MySpace and Friendster, etc. So everything's changing, but the common dynamic is social media. We found a great diagram that I thought you might appreciate. This is borrowed with no permission from National Geographic magazine, but it shows, interestingly, the mass of different social networks and how the traffic comes in from different countries. So, for example, Facebook works in the United States and Canada, but like Baidu is big overseas. Orkut is actually still pretty significant. Twitter is actually a relative. We think of Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn as the biggies. So enough with that. Let me just kind of run on into the opportunity that we see, because then we'll get into the demo. Basically, we're not building a new social network. What we're building are tools for the social networks and for people who, for the brands and people who want to be on the social networks. Specifically, relationship marketers. You've probably seen Justin Timberlake. There's one who has like Ashton Kutcher is the one. Sorry, I'm just not as hip as I should be. But the real deal here is that clicks are the currency. It's not just about being heard. It's also about making sure that people are following you. And clicks is how we know that. It's all about the call to action. And XREF is the front runner in timing-based delivery. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. What we've found in research is that when people receive a tweet or a Facebook message as they're on the system, they're significantly more likely to click on that. And so we've actually got patent pending on our technology that delivers messages when we predict that the friends, both groups and individuals, are going to be online. I won't spend any more time talking about it because my colleague's going to do that, but just to give you kind of the big picture, we're having one offering which is for small companies and individuals, and that'll be directly sold. And then we're going to be working with agencies, but because of course the money that Coke and Fisher Price want to spend is just too much to tie up Paul and my time. You know what? This is a perfect lead into. Do you have? Oh, you don't have the demo there.
No, I'm good. I'll walk over.
Please.
I have good legs. Good solid walking legs.
Hope I give you enough time.
You're fine. Okay, so Paul Schreiner, it is great to be here. I live in the windy city of Port Townsend. And last night I was trying to start a fire in the wind. Little note.
Do you need me to bring you back here?
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's a little ADD moment. Great to be here. So I work with Young Life over there. Great organization. Really like it. One of the things that's true about it is it has to raise its budget through a community support model. Port Townsend's the 32nd smallest county in Washington State, and it's also the least churched, which is sort of the niche that Young Life's a part of. And so raising a budget from that area is a difficult place. And so what came upon early on was this idea of how do we use the tools that exist on the internet to make that work better and for us.
5 minutes remaining.
We should turn that off. So very quickly I was like, how do we use this? So I put some tracking on the blog for Young Life, and in general organically I was getting, and I realized it's small, 5 clicks a day maybe, small, right? But I posted to Facebook, and I had 17 people come. I thought, man, this works, right? And I know we're all in the room going, yeah, I've seen that, I've seen it, right? And it works So the next month, when it's time to post again, I had 11 people come, so there's a substantial drop-off. So what's the difference? It's timing. When people are online, they respond. So we started keeping track of when they're online. Facebook, I'm not going to import because there's a lot of data and we just don't have the time. Facebook has an open API where we can pull a lot of information from it. Facebook is a tool. LinkedIn has an open API. MySpace has an open API. Orkut has an open API. Gmail has an open API. Exchange Server has an open API. I could go on and on. They're all open. So what we want to do is we want to create sort of a multi-factored profile about a given person to say, this, based on their previous experience, is when they're going to be online in the future. So we import all that stuff in. We're going to close that. And again, like we could watch it import, but it's going to take 25. Well, no, not that long. It'll take longer than I want to give you. So right now it's set up for Facebook and Twitter because those are our two big ones. So that's a part of it. Then what we'd do is we would link those users together. So it's kind of a dirty text match to make sure who they fit. We can pull things like they both mention kids in their tweets and in their Facebook messages linked in, and then we'll group them, and then we can group them together. Now when we get into the grouping, and I'll get through the menus very quickly because you're like, you want to see the guts, okay? So we can group them together to create kind of there's sort of natural groupings that come up, right? Like these are my friends, these are the people I'm targeting as a sales agent, whatever. And then we have a couple different tools here. Once we have that group created, once we have that individual identified, that's a flash thing right there. And I don't really care about doing that right now either. So this is my Facebook network. I have friends out of India, so they're going to post here in the middle of the night. But in general, I can visually see when the best time to post is. Okay, visuals are great. Visuals are fun. They make us feel good. But visuals are not all of it. So we have an algorithm that goes through and identifies sort of the heat. When's the best time based upon neighboring data points. So we then identify the best time, and we can post it. This one is not as fun, but we'll see that one in a second. So we post it. Spelled right? Good. Thursday at 8 o'clock. Again, whether or not that's the right time or not, we'll just assume it. There's our flash thing. That's fun. If you don't have a bug, it's not a demo.
Tweet.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good.
But here's where it really starts to get interesting. Maybe it's not just a whole social network. I don't want to just tweet at a certain time. I don't want to just send a Facebook message at a certain time. I want to send a message to my friend, Andy Lou. Played at my wedding. Let's see. Hey, everyone is watching. I can get there. Everyone's watching me type. I want to send it to Eddie at the optimal time. So again, it's going to identify the best time to send Eddie a message, and it's scheduling it now. And it will send it at the appropriate time, posting it to his wall, based upon historic data. We can also send it to a group or a network. Got a couple more things to show you. I think this is just kind of funny. We'll have another little flash thing here in a second. Yeah, there it is. Come on, go away. For week, I didn't import for today. I imported for the week. Who's my most active users? And being able to kind of identify that. So there's one last little piece to show you when we look at this. Users have preferences. Time is a preference, as is network. So identifying time and then network delivery as well. So when we bring them all together, we get this really nice picture of user, time, and place. And we really think that's the trifecta to kind of triangulate on.